tournament season 2. We have a match here between Licorice Whip and EXPandable Odyssey. I'm Memre, casting play-by-play with my wonderful co-caster Noella. So Noella, what can you tell me about these teams? Since I don't really know all that much about Minors Division.
Well, for starters, I'm really excited to see this matchup between Licorice Whip and EXPandable Odyssey, as EXPandable Odyssey is actually number 5 in the standings for the Minors Division, so they're right smack dab in the middle. Whereas Licorice Whip has had a bit of a rough stage 1 and is at the bottom, winning only 1 map. But they have a new coach, Raza Whip, so I'm really excited to see what he teaches them and what they can bring to show us.
I especially like the pun on Raza Rip there with Raza Whip. Now his
I know. It's a habit from when Raza was my coach in season 1. It's kind of stuck.
Well, hopefully he can whip them into shape.
Yeah.
And get them their first win here against EXPandable Odyssey. This probably matters a little bit more for EXPandable Odyssey going to playoffs, since they're going to be riding that sort of edge of the division. So maybe they can sort of sneak into playoffs here. All right, so our first map is going to be Oasis as we head into here. It looks like we're going to start out on on Gardens rather. So we might see a fair bit of Pharah play. But what other comps do you expect to see here, Noella?
Well, maybe some goats. I know Licorice Whip likes to run some goats, or snoats, as they've once called it. So we'll see what they bring.
Absolutely. May not make an appearance on this particular map, but I could see that definitely coming out for University. That might be a bit better there. As we get our players loaded into the lobby here, let's see what they're running. It looks like we might have some Divey 222 with a Pharah on the side of Licorice Whip.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see some Ana play from Darlays and Trimatar with that Genji, some Nanoblades going in.
Absolutely. We'll see if they can make an impression against this pharmacy. It could be very oppressive coming out from the Licorice Whip. But if they can sneak through and avoid the combos and the barrages, they might be able to do some work. So we have Licorice Whip moving, or EXPandable Odyssey moving up to the point right now. Licorice Whip is going to be rotating around and coming into the point just now. You have Triamatar doing some poke damage on the Reinhardt, so he takes an anti-nade, Sarah DG going low, but gets the bubble and is able to survive through that focus, but does eventually fall to Sogoli on that Tracer, and that should be the cue for EXPandable Odyssey to take the fight to them, taking out the Zarya. They do lose the mech in the process, however, but they're going to back out, and this should be a first point take heading over to EXPandable Odyssey.
Yeah, that was a pretty quick fight on EXPandable Odyssey's part. Licorice Whip did have a pretty good disengage there, though, once they lost a couple of their players. So it looks like they're grouping up, getting ready to push in again.
Absolutely. That was a good target focus on the side of EXPandable Odyssey there, taking out that Reinhardt before they had a chance to really get any work done. We do see the barrage coming up, and Sogoli is sort of scouting out on the side, but it looks like Licorice Whip is going to rotate through the interior and try to get a foothold on this point. We'll see if the Pharah jumps up behind them for a barrage coming in here. So they take the high ground. DC is going to jump up there and try and take it over. Sogoli gets an early pick on Spark. That's a huge pick taking out that McCree, so there's not going to be too much contesting for this damage. Sogoli gets a kill on the Mercy, so there's not going to be sustain, as well as the break going down. Means that there's no healers left on the side of Licorice Whip. So they should be backing up here and retreating as we get cleanup kills from EXPandable.
Yeah, that was a great pick, first pick with the McCree, but then it looked like EXPandable Odyssey really rounded up. Couldn't give the Zarya and the Reinhardt a chance to back out before they ended them, and now Licorice Whip has to do a full reset.
Absolutely. Sogoli has been really impressing me on this Tracer. He's set up now over in this corner waiting for them to come in. But Licorice Whip is going to rotate through main now. They're going to pop the Valk early, try and get some progress there. An early blade by Triamatar is going to try and get some value as well, but and with the slashes and Siugoli to finish off the kills, that'll be a good 2 kills. But Sarah DG does get rezzed and Cythera takes out DC with the Diva Bomb coming in. It finds 2, including the Far in the Sky as well as the Reinhardt. That means that Expandable Odyssey should be able to hold this with the main heals and the tank down for Licorice Whip. With the grab coming out from Licorice Whip and the High Noon, however, we have 3 kills for Spark, taking this fight fairly handily. It's going back in the favor of Licorice Whip now, and they're going to get their first take.
Yeah, that was quite some twists and turns there. I really thought Expendable Odyssey was going to have it there, but with that grab and that High Noon, they really turned the tables.
I was expecting the grab plus barrage combo, but pulling out that High Noon was really effective as well. Spark really getting work done there.
Yeah, I'm expecting the Shatter barrage to come in.
Okay, we'll see if Sarah DG can land this Shatter. Looking for it, hits it, but there's a huge anti-nade from Darlice, and we're trading it back and forth. Tomiko does pull out the barrage, it takes down the mech, and with Cythera taking down Rip and Pippin, we're going to have the fight in favor of Licorice Whip with just DC stalling on the point right now.
Yeah, bit of a delay for DC to not just disengage with the rest of his team or try to restart. So it gives Licorice Whip some more time on the point and gets their count up.
Absolutely. He popped that Primal as well, so he's just really feeding an ult charge over at that point, unfortunately. So they're going to rotate back in through main now and try and probably take the high ground in the back. Is where their comp really wants to go. Kitten Please pops the Valk early on to sort of help sustain this fight. Spark goes very low and does get taken down by DC with a very nice dive onto him. Onto her, but Cythera is going to take out Jax's mech in return with a blade pop by Triamatar. It's going to take out John Belushi and Kitten Please before finally getting taken down by Cythera with that melee. DC is going to take out the Pharah, who I think came a little too close to the ground to get in range. And now with the focus onto the tanks, a huge slam comes out from Sarah DG.
Oh no!
But gets taken out immediately after. That was unlucky. Spark's going to come in for a last-minute contest here, but gets anti-nated and taken down. John Belushi pauses the rally to come in with Kitten. Kitten falls immediately, however, and so John Belushi should be falling shortly here as well, though that rally really gives a lot of sustain. Sarah DG is coming back in with the Winston now, and Tomiko's on the Sombra for the stall. Gets a good nice hack onto the Diva, so she can't self-destruct at the moment. Sodo does take out the Winston, and with the kills going in favor of Expandable Odyssey, that's going to be a first point take for them.
That was an intense last fight there. Kept switching kills, and but eventually Expendable Odyssey was able to cap the point.
Yeah, really roller coasters of fights here.
Yeah.
I was really hoping for a big slam there from Sarah DG, and she did get it, but then fell like immediately after.
Yeah, it was close. I was all excited, really hoping for it, but just couldn't fly high enough, I guess.
Absolutely. So as we move into University here, I'm hoping we see the May, though it doesn't look like anyone's hovering over it at the moment. Looks like we just have some goats on the side of Expandable Odyssey and a 2-2-2 kind of spam comp anti-goats on the side of Licorice Whip.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how they deal with the goats comp, especially since it's not a goats run goats.
Absolutely. So both teams are posturing over this middle room here with the mini pack, and we have a quick two kills on the side of Expandable Odyssey. Make the three on every kill going over the favor of them now. So this should be a quick first take for them. So goats winning out against their quote unquote counter.
Yep.
We see immediate swaps come through.
Yes. They all had to back up to cap the point, but it looks like they're starting to push forward now. DC coming in from that respawn. But he should be up by the time Licorice Whip pops. forward.
I do like this Pharah rather than the Reaper. I think Pharah is going to get more consistent value onto the goats. And we have them coming in through the choke now. Sarah DG and DC just swinging their hammers at each other, trying to get some amount of progress. John Belushi takes out Triamatar, and Sarah DG does take down DC. So this is going to be the front line of EXPandable Odyssey falling, and with Tomiko taking out Darlays, and Sarah DG investing that Earth Shatter, that should be a easy fight win for Licorice Whip.
Yeah, Sarah's just swinging that hammer, not giving a care, just taking out everything in her path.
Mouse 2 was unbound for that fight.
Yeah, Mouse 2 was unbound.
And so we have DC coming back with his own Earth Shatter now. We'll see if Sarah DG can block this one. That's going to be the main thing that we're going to be looking at. A Riptire comes out from Spark early in this fight and does take down Triamatar before he can get that rally online. And this should be the cue to disengage, especially as they've lost the Diva mech.
Yeah, Baby Diva Jax threw himself in there to get a quicker respawn instead of having to wait for his mech to come back, which is always a good thing.
Absolutely, but we do see 6 ultimates on the side of Expandable Odyssey, so if they just press Q, and we have Triamatar starting off the Q Fest with the rally here as they push forward, followed up by the grab and then the bomb combo, but they don't even need the bomb as DC is cleaning up in that grab, takes out 3. And is moving towards here, narrowly avoids the pit, so he's not going to fall down. Jax is going to take out Tomiko, and that's going to be a one fight for Expandable Odyssey.
Expandable Odyssey, despite using 3 of their ultimates, still have the ult advantage against Licorice Whip. So, definitely.
Absolutely. We do have the Grav Barrage combo, but if Jax holds on to his D Matrix, that should be fairly avoidable for a little while, especially with the Reinhardt shield if it doesn't get poked down. So you see Sarah DG now move through the choke point here, gets stunned out by Triamatar. They go for the Shatter, but it only catches John Belushi. The Grav and Barrage combo does come in, and Tomiko takes out 3 before falling to Jax. But this should be an advantage for Licorice Whip if they can clean up the remaining members. Tomiko gets rezzed as well, and Xpark takes out Pippin, and they should flip this back.
Yeah, that was a great block of Expendable Odyssey's Shatter on Sarah's part. Only one person got knocked down, but then the Zarya was able to protect the Brig, so she really saved the point there.
Absolutely, that was a slight mistiming on the part of Triamatar. It was a nice attempt to get the Bash Shatter combo online, which is really hard to pull off these days since the latest patch. But we have an early Valk pop by Kitten Please to help sustain them as they come into this and build ultimate charge. Triamatar switches off from the Brig onto another hit scan. So they're doing a double hit scan composition, and Sarah DG gets deleted by Silgoli on that McCree, but a Riptire comes in now that should find... Oh, it doesn't find the mech.
Oh no!
Jax gets taken down to a sliver of health, but manages to get out of there. So they're at full strength still. Moving in here, Triamatar does take out Tomiko, but does get taken out in turn by Spark. The bomb comes over the top looking for the members of Licorice Whip. It doesn't find anyone, but they're going to be able to take the point with that zoning Diva Bomb.
Yeah, since Expendable Odyssey has basically 3 ults and Licorice Whip only has about 1, Expendable Odyssey is definitely in the ult advantage, but they still got a little bit of way to go. Oh no, the kill!
And Sogoli takes out Tomiko immediately with that flash right-click combo. Spark is going to take down DC after a nice charge from Sarah DG there. And they're going to move into this point with the rally popped. Sogoli is going to pop the High Noon and take out Sarah DG. And Triamatar and Sogoli are going to combine for 2 kills, one of which does get rezzed. With the Transcendence and the Valk coming out though, there's not too much damage that can be done at the moment. A grab comes out from Cythera, but a Triamatar with the visor behind takes out 2, and DC and Darley's both also combine for an additional 2. Sarah DG on that Hammond is not going to last very long, and Expandable Odyssey is going to take this second map as well, and with it the entire map.
It was definitely a much closer fight this time between Expendable Odyssey and Licorice Whip. It was nice to see. And Kitten Please had some very nice reses. It pleased the Mercy main in me.
Absolutely.
Just see her do some sneaky reses and get them off.
Yep, there were some great swaps on both sides actually here. We had the swap over onto the Junk Pharah comp, which I think was really effective against the Goads comp that was getting run, and then you had the double hit scan come out from the side of Expandable Odyssey to counter the Pharah.
Yeah.
Just
So
unfortunate for Licorice Whip that they couldn't get it, the final little tick there.
yeah, well, let's see what they have for the next map. It's going to be Watch Point Gibraltar, which is always one of my favorites because you tend to see a lot of Widow play come out here with all the different levels you can play. So
Absolutely. Do we have Widowmaker players on these teams? It looks like
I
Tomiko is Widowmaker.
Tomiko, and I think Sio is a Widow player as well, if I remember things correctly.
Okay. That should be an interesting matchup to watch as well. I think that we won't see as much goats on this map, maybe on the third point, but
Maybe
really to favor more dive.
more dive. Get some Widow battles going on. See what brings forward.
Absolutely. And we might even see some more Genji too. I always like Genji on the first point especially. But yeah, I think that Licorice might opt for the Pharah too. Pharah can be powerful if Expandable Odyssey doesn't have that Widow to shut them down. It sort of depends on what they're running on the defense side. And if Sogoli was doing work on that Tracer, so he might stick to that. Though he also has, obviously a good McCree in his wheelhouse as well.
Yeah, it's definitely exciting to see what the teams will bring. It looks like we have one swap Evie in for Jax, so let's see what she brings to the game.
Yeah, it looks like they're both Diva mains, so it doesn't seem like it's any preferred compositions that might come out of this. And it looks like Synthera is coming in or Sin City is coming in for Cythera rather. So more of a Diva main as well coming in. Again, sort of setting up those dive compositions.
I always love a good dive. Always good to see if the Winston and the Diva can stick together and get the right target and stay as a group.
Absolutely. I'm liking the tank battles between Sarah DG and DC. I think that they've been, really duking it out, especially on those Reinhardts, which is what, you always want.
You always want the dukes.
Yeah. But yeah, so far I think DC sort of had the more support from their team, and so are winning those out more.
Yeah. I want to see more like hype like on a play from Darlays. Like they're in the back, they had the Genji. Definitely want to see what they can do with the Nanoblade because I think at the first time he got flashbanged or shattered or
immediately stunned. Yeah.
Right out of it. I was like, no, so close. But
I mean, I think he still did enough damage. Like I remember Sogoli got the kills in the kill feed, but like he was taking in severe chunks out of the tank's health.
Yeah.
But yeah, not quite the flashy Genji Nanoblade that you want to see necessarily.
The one that makes you cry on the inside as the support main,
The 6K just completely wipes your team, even through Transcendence. Yes.
Yeah, the one where you're like, oh, I just should lay here and die.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh well. He still did pretty good though.
Yes. I am, a little sad to not see as much Zen play. I always like the Zen v Genji matchups. Those always make me a lot happier.
Those can be
As a Zen
hilarious. As a Zen main, yeah. You see like Zen's little robot arms go at the Genji, he starts deflecting, the Zen stops, and in like a moment of panic, they're both panicking. You never know who's gonna kill the other.
Absolutely. So as we get the initial selections, it looks like we do have Widows on both sides.
Oh yeah, Widow battle.
On the attacking side, it looks like we might have something of a bunker comp, but maybe they're just going to try the initial halt hook combo on this bridge. See if they can get an initial early pick and then swap to dive. Especially since they have the Hanzo as well. This looks very much like a boosted specialty.
Boosted specialty. I love it. I love it. Always love the double sniper.
Yeah, so they get the scout out. They know that they're there. The pull comes in. Oh, the hook's a little too early. Oh, unfortunate. So they're gonna go back and switch to dive as you get the Mercy coming out, the Winston, and eventually but an initial first pick goes over the way of Spark winning that Widow duel with Sogoli. Triamatar does get a return kill onto John Belushi on that Lucio, and Tomiko takes out the mech. the Pharah gets immediately shut down by Spark coming out, but Eevee is going to take out the main healer for Licorice Whip, so we might be able to get some good progress here, especially as the mech of the Diva gets lost and Sin City falls as well.
Yeah, I can see them pushing forward. CO did get the next shot though on Spark, so he got a little bit of revenge.
Fourth, yeah.
Yeah.
We see both tank lines set up on the top high ground here, poking each other out as the lone Eevee is pushing the cart here as Cartbot 9000. And the battle for the high ground continues on the top with both tanks. DC's going to pop an early Primal Rage to just shove them back into that small area. Gets Kitten Please in the process. She wasn't able to Guardian Angel away. And they're going to get first point relatively quickly.
Yeah, that was a fairly quick push. You see the tanks pushing forward. They're quickly gathering ult. You almost have that Mercy Valk on EXPandable Odyssey's side, and you have Trimatar almost with his barrage. So we'll see what they bring.
Absolutely. So I'm hoping to see an early Valk from Kitten Please here as they push out. There it is immediately. Sin City does fall low on that Diva, trying to battle Sogoli up here. Gets driven out, and DC's going to take over control of the high ground, take out the Lucio that was softened up by Sogoli. A res comes into Triamatar, who had fallen earlier in the battle, so they're going to maintain pressure on this. And we have the Widow duel on top of the shuttle as Sogoli raffles around. DC comes in for some help, as well as Kitten Please. Both teams really supporting their Widow players. But Sogoli is going to take out both the Diva mech and the Diva. And with Eevee taking out the main tank and committing this bomb, they should be able to clean up this fight, shove them back to the spawn, and take point 2 as well.
Yeah, another quick push on the side of EXPandable Odyssey. I really think one of the small issues is that EXPandable Odyssey is being so good at pushing so far forward and not giving Licorice Whip a really good chance to have a full regroup and...
Absolutely. You see it here too. You have another sort of spawn camp come out before they back out as a result of the Spark popping those sites. But they've been really good about taking that aggressive position, denying Licorice Whip the ability to engage on their own terms and sort of dictating the pace of these engagements. And we see Sarah DG now swaps over to the Reinhardt, hoping to get a little bit more ground pressure. DC is just going to jump over, and a bomb comes in with the EMP and finds 2, including the Widow and the Mercy. And this should be a easy hold for Licorice Whip now as they clean up on the point.
Yeah, it was definitely a great bomb coming there. Also, another thing I've noticed really great is Rip and Pippin has been doing great with those Zen orbs. He's really been discording the target focus, and the tanks have just been jumping it on and melting poor Licorice Whip. They don't know what to do.
Discord, I think, is one of the most overpowered abilities in the game, and I say that with zero bias. But Sogoli takes out Spark immediately to open up this fight, so they're going to be fighting 5v6 here unless they can get this res off, but it doesn't look like Kitten's going to be able to get the angle on it. She's playing very safe right now. DC jumps in deep to get on Tomoko, and a barrage comes out from Triamatar, gets a defense matrix by Sin City, an excellent D matrix there. DC is going to take out Tomoko in the end, and a transfer from Rip and Pippin is going to keep EXPandable Odyssey nice and healthy as they push in on this point. A late Valk by a Kitten Please is going to get the res onto Sarah DG, but the kills are still going heavily in favor of EXPandable Odyssey here as Rip and Pippin takes down Sarah DG once again. Triamatar is going to take out Tomiko, and they're going to easily cap this. Yeah,
that was an intense fight. EXPandable Odyssey used both of their support ults, so the Mercy, all she had to do was power boost the entire team while the Zen made sure everyone stayed alive, and they were really able to get that damage into Licorice Whip.
Absolutely, and that really helps build up the ultimate economy for EXPandable Odyssey, paradoxically enough. If you use that Mercy damage boost, everyone's doing more damage, they're generating ults faster, it helps you close out those fights even better.
But that was a great res from Kitten Please on the side of Licorice Whip. She floated up in the air right above the team and was able to get Sarah up so they can contest a few seconds longer.
Yeah, there were some great individual plays on the side of Licorice Whip for sure. I mean, the Sin City shutting down that fire barrage was really wonderful.
That was another great one.
Yeah, but DC's pressure on the back line, forcing everyone out of position with that primal. It was just the aggression from ExPandable Odyssey has just been great on this map.
Yeah, they've really been working together well as a team and really been able to put the pressure onto Licorice Whip.
Absolutely. So for the defense side of things, we see another dive defense come out with the Genji and the Widow. So maybe you'll get your Nano Blades after all on this.
I do love my Nano Blades, so.
And pretty standard on the side of Licorice Whip. They're not trying for any of the boosted cheese, unfortunately. And it looks like EXPandable Odyssey's wise to it anyway. They're holding very far back. I'm excited to see if Spark can get the better of Sogoli this time.
Yeah, I definitely want to see Spark get some kills in there with those Widow headshots.
So both teams are going to dive into this little room next to blue boxes here as they push in onto the high ground. Sarah DG gets an early pick onto DC, but Triamadar does get the mech out from Sin City, and Sogoli takes down Tomiko. So there might be the possibility of holding at this point as Triamadar dashes away from Sarah DG on that Winston in the nick of time. But Sarah DG is going to hop up onto Rip and Pip and take Rip and Pip so low. But he's going to speed on out of there as they just posture around this high ground here, trying to force each other back, waiting for that initial pick. You do have two people on cart from the side of Licorice Whip, so they're getting some good cart progress coming in here.
Licorice Whip is definitely trying to keep that pressure on EXPandable Odyssey and definitely give like their Widow some battlegrounds.
Absolutely. With Sarah DG popping this Primal Rage, pushing everyone around. Unfortunately, she's going to fall at the hands of Sogoli, but they were able to burn down that 1000 HP monkey very quickly. Sogoli is going to pop sights, knowing exactly where everyone is. We do have the Nano Blade online from Triamatar and Darlace, as we still have the teams posturing around. Spark gets a good kill onto Sogoli, but we get the Nano Blade popped from Triamatar, who takes out Spark. Darlace is going to take down Kitten Please, so this should open up the defense to actually force the attackers back now.
Yeah, you can see them pushing the tanks back to spawn quite successfully, getting that Lucio. Demeching Sin City, I think it's worked for EXPandable Odyssey.
Absolutely. We do get a fair bit of ults built up on the side of Licorice Whip now. Kitten should probably pop this Valkyrie early in the fight. There's always the danger of getting picked off by Sogoli, though they do have Spark sights, so hopefully that should be avoidable. But with Sin City still out of mech, this is really unfortunate. I'm not quite sure what Sin City is doing. She's in the underpass, sort of moving up to the cart. But hopefully she'll be able to get her mech back before she gets killed.
I think she's trying to get it back.
They engage on her. Spark gets taken down immediately by Sogoli. Excellent pick before Spark can actually pop those sights. And Licorice Whip looks to be trying to disengage here slightly. But they do get the mech back, and they're going to be backing out once they lose Sarah DG.
Well, they have 5 ults, so hopefully Kitten pops it first to give them that damage bonus to push forward and push the cart all the way to first point.
And they could do a Valk Blade combo. Spark opens with the sights, which is good, so they know exactly where everyone on EXPandable Odyssey is and where they're holding. So this blade should be able to get some value from knowing where the right targets are. EXPandable Odyssey is doing this really good sort of split defense here where they're held. Tomiko kicks a anti-grenade, so she's gonna have to back out and not be able to pop that blade quite yet. DC does take down X-Spark, and Tomiko popping that blade with the Valk, but it gets countered immediately by Rip and Pippin with the crucial beat, keeping everyone in his team alive. Sarah DG takes out Sogoli, and Triamatar is going to pop his own Nano Blade and try and get some kills here, but again we have the beat coming out immediately from John Belushi. He still gets killed by Triamatar, however. And we have a bomb coming in now from Eevee. Not going to find anyone this time, but X-Spark is going to take down Rip and Pippin on the side of the defense, so they might be able to get some good progress here. Sarah DG also takes down Triamatar. Tomiko is taken very low and taken out finally by DC, so it's still an all-up brawl on this first point here. Sin City gets demeched by Sogoli, and with DC just sort of hopping around this point, stalling it out as much as he can, they should be able to get some reinforcements in here faster than the offense can. And they do indeed take out Sinsuke's mech once again. The Baby Diva just sort of dancing around the point. Sogali is going to take out Spark. And it looks like the advantage is in the favor of Expandable Odyssey as DC takes out Don Belushi. But we do have the Sarah DG popping the Primal, gets value killing Sogali, as well as the Beat gets dropped in response to that. A late blade by Triamatar is going to try and clean up this fight here, however. And it looks like with the falling of the Baby Diva, finally Expandable Odyssey will have a first point hold.
Man, that last fight was quite the brawl.
That was intense. I thought it could go, either way multiple times throughout that fight.
There was multiple times and I was like, oh yeah, Expandable Odyssey's got it. I was like, no, Licorice has got it. No, it's back to Expandable Odyssey. Like, didn't know, like, it was gonna take it there, but...
Absolutely. That was really great stall on the side of Expandable Odyssey, knowing that they had the advantage in terms of respawns, stalling at that point until they could get their reinforcements in.
It was pretty great. Great work from both teams, definitely.
Alright, so that'll be the second map wrapping up there, with Watchpoint Gibraltar. And Expandable Odyssey is now 2 up in the series, 2-0 over Licorice Whip. So going into halftime, what do you want to see played differently by Licorice Whip to sort of turn these things around?
I definitely want to see them working more together as a team. They seem to be a little bit more scattered than Expandable Odyssey is, and I definitely want to see like maybe some more flank action from their tanks, because it's something I've noticed that Expandable Odyssey was doing pretty well. They were diving the back line, and then Licorice Whip's tanks would have to turn around, peel for their support. So I definitely want to see more play that way from Licorice Whip to see if they can frazzle the support line in
Absolutely.
Expandable
DC
Odyssey.
has been doing a really good job of making tons of space, and not getting punished too much either, which is always the dream as a Winston player. But it looks like he's going to be taken out for this next map on Volskaya, with Melkizzy coming in.
Well, Volskaya's capture the point, or 2 CP, so hopefully we see some goats from Licorice Whip. It says they do pretty good in their card on that. Hopefully they stick together, able to take
Forced to stick together. Yeah.
Forced to stick together, take the point.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. I still, I mean, okay, so my own personal bias is very much in favor of 2-2-2 on this map. I think it's really strong, especially with crossfires and whatnot. I can definitely see, goats getting some success, but it seems like Expandable Odyssey kind of has their number in a lot of ways, and they look really ready for this match. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see some sort of counter goats coming out, especially on the defense from the side of Expandable.
Licorice has also been good with the counter goats, with the pharmacy. I think it's a really strong counter right now into the meta, probably more so than Reaper at this point.
Yeah, Reaper has a hard time getting through those shields, through the defensive matrix, getting in close without getting focused. Whereas Pharah just has that ability to spam rockets in over the top, and just get free kills basically.
Free kills, yeah, especially when you have a Mercy attached to you, damage boosting everything you do. Pharah seems to be a much better pick, especially at this elo of play.
Absolutely. We might even see some cheese. I know that Volskaya sometimes has some cheese comps in terms of Bastion. You could get like a Bastion set up on the mini hut, the little hut in front of point A.
Nice little bunker comp, where they have the Bastion and then they have the Symmetra and they shoot all around the point. So the team is forced to either enter into a trap or slam into them. Be interesting to see.
I mean, certainly it works against sort of more uncoordinated goats, right? That are a little bit slower moving to point or rotating or don't know quite how to deal with that and take cover. You can burn through the Orion shield long before they get there, and then just simply delete the Orion Heart.
Yeah, I also love watching cheese comps. They're always good for a good laugh, or when you see a lone soul Symmetra turret just take out someone because it was in a weird place.
Absolutely. And there's also like a really interesting spot on point B, Volskaya, that you can get a Bastion set up on the far back left from right above the basically the defender spawn. And
Yeah.
so if they go that route, I'd really like to see that as well, because it's really hard for goats to get up there, right? They only have the diva to really contest.
Yeah, it would be interesting. I also love one of the things where they do is where you have your diva like throw the bomb over the enemy team, and then as everyone like turns to look at it to like defend themselves, the Reinhardt just comes in and like hammers them all down and they all die.
Absolutely.
That's always a good strat when you're
Sarah
stuck
DG
on the
with the
second.
hero shatter.
Yeah, so it's always a good strat I find when you're like at the last minute of like the second push for Volskaya. It's always a good Hail Mary.
Absolutely. Um, but we, yeah. I'm curious to see if like Licorice Whip is, can pull this back. Expendable Odysseys looked, fairly dominant so far. And really, just like really good coordination on the side of Expandable Odyssey.
Yeah, they have had some really good teamwork. You can definitely see where like their tanks will dive in the back line and mess around with poor Licorice with the port line, and then they'll get low and they'll jump out and their healers heal them, and so yeah, there's definitely some good comms going on that side of the team.
Absolutely. Um, I mean, in some ways, like Licorice Whip doesn't really have the best or like the best support line to really deal with that as well. They're usually running like something like a Break Mercy or like um, I forget what they had on on Gibraltar, but it was a Mercy plus maybe a Lucio or something along those lines, right?
Mhm.
And it's just it's really tough to really have the sustain with that kind of comp, and you don't have like you only have the beat for a defensive ult. You don't have like the instant burst of like a nano boost or the burst healing of Ana.
Yeah, it can definitely be troublesome, especially since you might have multiple critical targets at once and you can only heal one at a time with a mercy. So,
Absolutely, and these fights have been really drawn out. I've been sort of surprised, and some of them are very clean, right? And those are the ones that you want to see from both sides. But some of them, just are this all out brawl over the point.
mhm. Well, I'm excited to see what the two teams bring to Volskaya. We could see anything at this point as they prepare to set up.
Yes, we're gonna have Expandable Odyssey attacking first here, um, as the initial hero picks come through now. It looks like we will indeed see Licorice Whip run the goats with the Zen on defense.
Zen goats, I like it. Hopefully,
Zen goats is
Darley's.
very powerful, um,
Mhm.
but it also requires a fair bit of coordination, right, to like actually burn the discorded target and keep up the focus fire to really snowball fights. Um, on the side of Expandable Odyssey, however, it looks like we have a more sort of standard 2-2-2 with Junkrat and Sombra.
Yeah, Licorice Whip definitely has that 2-2-2 going on. I'm excited to see what Tomiko can do with the Sombra. Hopefully, get a hack on that Reinhardt and get things going.
Absolutely. So as Licorice Whip moves out of the gates here, with Sarah DG leading the charge, and the Junkrat spam comes in, Melkezi's going to hold the point and take a immediate counter charge there. Melkezi gets anti-nated, but Sarah DG is actually going to be the first to fall. Despite the bubble coming through from Scythera, the target focus was there. Tomiko's going to poke around the point, but Darlace is wise to Tomiko's ways, has a Discord orb on her, and she's forced to get out.
That was a great counter charge.
Jax with the spy checking finds out Tomiko, forces her to translocate back out, delaying that sort of scout. Jax is really impressive with that diva scouting.
That was impressive, I will admit. Oh,
Sarah
another
DG
counter
goes for
charge.
another ballsy charge into the enemy team there and gets immediately discorded, and falls low before. Though she's managing to stay healed. Excellent support coming through there as the kills are actually coming through for Licorice Whip now. And they're going to push into this point now, where you have Jax on high ground firing from above, but just the Zen and the Diva really, as the sole survivors, Jax is going to get hacked and taken down, and Licorice Whip is going to take the first point.
Yeah, that was a really clean fight from the side of Licorice Whip. They were able to take down their Reinhardt and really like steamroll the point.
Absolutely. On the side of Expandable Odyssey now we have a swap over to a Mei on the defense, looking to sort of wall things off. Tomiko is going to do some scouting before getting out. An early Riptire is going to come in from Spark, though they're not going to find anything. I think it was immediately detonated, unfortunately. And so now they're going to push into the point. You have Sarah DG and a huge EMP coming out from Tomiko, though Tomiko is going to fall down. Darlace was out of the range of the EMP. Excellent discipline there from the Zen, who gets the trance off immediately. And despite the anti-nade onto 3 of Expandable Odyssey's members, they're going to clean up and have a solid second point hold.
Yeah, you when you have a Zen on the enemy team and a Sombra, you really want to make sure you get that Zen first, so they aren't able to transcend and prevent all your hard work.
Absolutely, that was very impressive by Darlace there, staying out of range, knowing that the Sombra had EMP and was able to completely counter that ult. Mixed with the focus fire on Tomiko, who had no escape. Tomiko goes down again, though they do trade it out with Click Clack on the side of Expandable Odyssey. So it's a 5v5 fight until Sarah DG falls, so that the offense is faltering a little bit here, and this is definitely in favor of the defense. They're all going to try and retreat now as exit kills come through for Expandable Odyssey.
You can really see the Zarya trying to body block Kitten Please to make sure she doesn't go down. But it looks like... Nope, never mind. It looks like Expendable Odyssey has decided they've backed up far enough and gonna let them repush.
Absolutely. So we have now a blizzard on the side of Expandable Odyssey. So I expect as they move in through here, a Riptire comes out. Hopefully that'll get more pager than the first one. It comes for the Reinhardt and takes him down immediately. Sarah DG with a nice charge onto Click Clack, excellent charge, gives them a 2-member advantage. The Nano Boost comes out on Sarah DG, as well as the Diva Bomb into the Blizzard combo. Doesn't find any value for Expandable Odyssey, so they're still fighting at disadvantage. Jax does take down Sarah DG with an excellent freeze from the Mei. And you have, with the kills coming now in the favor of Expandable Odyssey, they're going to be able to hold on this point. An excellent initial initiation from Licorice Whip, but a really good stabilization from Expandable Odyssey.
Yeah, it was a really great hold from Expandable Odyssey. We can see Expandable Odyssey has 3 ults ready for the next push, and they have the Transcendence and the Lucio beat to prevent anything that might come their way.
And without the Sombra on the side of Licorice Whip, there's no sort of easy counter to either of those support ults. But they've now moved over to the Pharmacy, going into this double spam comp that they used on Oasis initially. So it'll be interesting. Jax with a huge eat onto site there. This Graviton Surge is going to be excellent for Expandable Odyssey. That was amazing.
That was huge.
And with Melkizzy taking out Cythera, and a Shatter comes out from Sarah DG, but the trance is there to keep everyone sustained. Despite the res coming through onto Cythera, Jax is going to take out Sarah DG, and Licorice Whip is going to go back to the drawing board.
Now Expendable Odyssey has 5 ults, only using the Transcendence there, where Licorice Whip only has 1, but they are coming up on their barrage, so hopefully they can able to do something with that.
Yeah, Licorice Whip has really struggled to get value out of the ults that they've been using. It's been countered or just plain eaten by Divas quite often this match. Or this map.
Yes.
But Spark does have the Riptire again, so I'm hoping that he gets a little bit more value than he did last time, taking down that Reinhardt. With Seogoli setting up for the wall's off 2 and sets the Blizzard in. With the Pharah is discorded and very low. Tomiko is taken out by Jax. Darlace is actually going to take out the Spark's Riptire. Excellent target acquisition on his part. And Seogoli's going to kill Kitten Please, and this should be another easy ult for Expandable Odyssey.
Yeah, I saw Kitten Please try to get another one of those sneaky reses. Unfortunately, it didn't work out as the Mei was standing right there, and Seo was able to slow her down and shoot her in the face.
Unlucky, so to speak. So we have Spark actually moving over to the Widow instead of the Junkrat. An interesting pick going into Snows. Expandable Odyssey shouldn't be too easy to pick off here, as they're sort of hiding behind cover and have lots of shields. Maywall comes out early, trying to wall them off, but ends up walling them in a little bit. Sarah DG and Melkizzy are swinging their hammers at each other. Melkizzy gets the Earth Shatter and immediately shatters John Belushi, sending in the Diva Bomb for good measure, takes out Spark in the back, and Tri-Amatar and Melkizzy combine for another couple kills, and they're going to be able to hold this point yet again.
They are, but Lux seems to be, or alt economy seems to be on Licorice Whip's side for the next fight, as they have 3 alts, almost 4. The Zarya should be able to get hers for the next fight as long as she's not picked first. So maybe
Absolutely.
we'll get to see a Hammer Barrage, or maybe even a Grav Barrage. We'll see.
We do have Rally coming online just in a second for Triamatar, and Darlace is going to probably get that trance before the Graviton comes online. An early... oh, Sarah DG gets stunned out of her Earth Shatter and gets taken down immediately. That does not feel good. Tomiko's going to commit the barrage to take out down Melkizzy, but get taken on a turn by Darlace. That Zen Discord orb. And with the Expandable Odyssey moving out here to chase the remaining members, the wall is going to not quite capture them, keep them in. They should be able to get back to spawn.
Yeah, no. Definitely should have kept that Rocket Barrage for the next fight, though, especially since your Reinhardt went down first. Hopefully, Zarya is able to get their ult, and Licorice Whip can push and caps the second point.
Absolutely. We do have the beat on the side of John Belushi. He's going to pop it into this Blizzard, gets it off just in the nick of time. But the rest of Scyther is going to get frozen and taken down. Melkizzy's going to take out John Belushi as well, and they're just going to clean up all the kills on the point here, and Expandable Odyssey looks to have a nice second point hold.